So, the first thing to do is to wish you a Gunji Fat Chai, which I'm hoping is Happy New Lunar New Year, in something like Hakka, one of the southern Chinese dialects anyway. Because it's Imlek on February the 1st, Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year. And so what I thought I'd do is sort of a Chinese flavoured horoscope tarot reading for you. And this is for the entire year. So it's the year of the rooster, which stretches from the 1st of February to the 31st of January. And it's for the sign of the rooster. Now, if you don't know what sign you are, look below. But do remember that the year begins somewhere around the end of January, beginning of February. So if you're born in January, then you fall into the previous year, except maybe if you're born at the absolute end of January, then you need to Google it because it gets a little bit more complicated. Now, I have to admit that rooster's sort of an American word, isn't it? And it's not one I'd use. And I didn't know if it meant chicken or cock. And I find out that it means cock. But I'm going to call you rooster because I'd snigger all the way through this reading if I kept calling you cock and cocks. So roosters, I really hope you enjoy this. Now I'll be using probably 2 decks, but out of 3 decks. So the first deck is Tarot Nusantara. The second deck is the Steampunk deck. And the third deck is the Light Visions Tarot. Tarot Nusantara is actually a new one to me, which I love. Whereas the Light Visions, I've struggled with as a result of the rendering. Although I think I'll grow into it, I will keep using it and coming back to it. You can see on all of them, I'm using quite a lot of salt. And that's to clear the energy and the spirits from them. Something that I do fairly regularly with my tarot. And I also, you'll see a number of Jimat there that I use just to bring a good energy to the tarot and to my reading. And I call on the Chinese spirits to assist me in shuffling these cards, in selecting the right cards, and interpret them for the sign of the rooster in the year of the tiger. Roosters, I guess it's because we're reading for a year, but I've had some rather odd readings, and I think yours is another of those. Look at that middle card, the Hanged Man. That suggests to me that during the year of the tiger, you're hanging around, waiting for something to happen. Now, this could be imposed upon you, or it could be you deciding to do it. But that's something that goes throughout the entire reading. And now, the energy of the past is the Page of Swords. As though you're seeking knowledge, going out and looking for knowledge, looking for something. It might be simply information about something, but there's a seeking there. And your current energy is the Ace of Swords, which suggests that either you found knowledge or some information has come to you. Your future energy is the Knight of Wands, brave, fast, bold, fearless, prone to being rash. The energy impacting on the outcome is the 7 of Pentacles, investing for the future. Now, the energy that could prevent the outcome is the 9 of Pentacles, which is about great abundance, but she's by herself in that garden. And I wonder if that's the message, that it's you by yourself. Because the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. I call her the single mother card. Now, you don't have to have children and you don't have to be female, but it's that sort of energy. You've got an energy of dependence and you're trying to please everybody. You perhaps think you're not doing a good job, but everyone around you thinks you're doing a wonderful job. So what does all this mean? Well, I've sort of got a story here, but I think we need to look at each card individually. And the first card, as I say, which is the energy that runs throughout it, is the Hanged Man. Now, this could be, it could be you saying, right, I need to scan the environment. I'm not going to act right now. I'm going to sort out what's happening and plan. And that's no bad thing, is it? But it could be being imposed upon you. You look at the cards, he's strung up there upside down. There's nothing he can do about it but just hang around, is there? So, is this you hanging around because of restrictions, because of the health crisis? Are you fed up with it? Is that what's going on? Saying, how much longer do I have to put my life on hold? Is that what it's about? It could be. Or, as I say, it could be self-imposed. Yeah. Interesting, because this runs throughout. So it's as though there are things you're thinking of doing, but not really doing. That does impact on a further card, and I'll tell you a bit later. And now you see we have the Page of Swords. This is your current energy. This suggests to me that you're seeking knowledge, maybe seeking information, maybe seeking a new way of looking at things, maybe seeking a message. Very much looking for some sort of inspiration, some sort of information. This is the past. Did I say it was the current? It's the past. So you were looking for something. You were looking for knowledge, I think. And you look at him, yeah, he is fearless, but there's a certain naivety about him, isn't there? And he's got the sword in his hand, but he doesn't really know what he's doing, doesn't really know where he's going. Are those crows above his head? Is that a bad sign? It could be. It could be. When we go out and seek something without knowing really what we're seeking, of course, we often find out the most wonderful things. But some of the things we find out needn't be that wonderful. I've just got this feeling, because I've seen these crows, that, it's almost you doing Jungian shadow work and finding out about your dark side. I wonder. And now your current energy suggests you found what you were looking for, because it's the Ace of Swords. So this is you getting a new information, new knowledge, new way of thinking. So it does suggest that you found what you're looking for. Now, how does the Hanged Man impact on it? It's as though you found out some information, but you don't quite know how to act on it. You don't know quite what you should be doing with it. Yeah. You look at that card, looks to be beautiful scenery. I don't know what the crown at the top of the sword, the feather and the leaves mean, but it feels like something magical, doesn't it? Profound. The sword is actually a kris, something with very mystical meaning in Java, and behind the hand is that cloud that says something divine about it. So you've received some information or a new way of thinking or some knowledge that I believe has had quite a profound impact on you. But I don't think you quite know how to deal with it just yet. Now, a card that feels totally out of place is this Knight of Wands, which is future energy. Maybe it's because it's future, but why it feels out of place is, I've said you don't know what to do. We've got that Hanged Man, which suggests you're hanging around, weighing up your options before acting. Well, no, this is a card of action. Maybe I should ignore the fact that it's also a card of rushing in. Maybe that isn't what it's telling us here. It is just that you're acting, you're fast, you're bold, and you're fearless. And maybe that's it. Maybe you've been weighing things up, you've got this information, but you've not quite known what to do with the information, but in the future, you're going to act on it. And when you do act, you're going to act fast. Yeah. Maybe that's how I should see it. Although I'm looking at the future cards. I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on. Now you see we have the Seven of Pentacles. Now this is you laying down for the future. Probably financial investment, but it needn't be. But it's you thinking of the long term. Now that would very much fit in with the Hanged Man, but doesn't so well with the last card, which was the Knight of Wands. But of course, chronologically, this could be before the Knight of Wands, because if this is the energy impacting on the outcome. So it's you laying down investments, you thinking about the future. You look at it, well, yeah, he's almost gardening those pentacles, isn't he? Almost growing money, if you like. Hard work, but you know it's going to be worth it. Yeah. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Now the energy that would prevent the outcome, or could prevent the outcome, is the Nine of Pentacles. So this suggests a degree of good fortune, particularly in terms of money. You look at the card, those are the Pentacles, which does suggest wealth. She's in a beautiful garden with grapes. Grapes are quite rare in Indonesia, so that's rather a nice thing. Beautiful bird on her hand, isn't it? And she's dressed very nicely. Those things that look a bit like fly agaric mushrooms aren't. They're Balinese umbrellas. Oh, and I noticed there's both a Hindu Balinese style gate and a Buddhist style temple there in the background. So it looks absolutely perfect. It looks as though you've got everything you want. But can you see there's one thing that stands out to me about it? And that is you're by yourself. And I think that is important. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, you've already heard me say, but I always call this the single mother card. And you don't have to be female, and you don't have to have got any children, but that's the energy. It's somebody that's got a lot of dependencies. A lot of people depending on them. And they find life a bit of a struggle. They're very busy, running from thing to thing, keeping everybody happy. And you look at her, she's looking tired, and it tires you out. Shouldering the world, and she probably thinks she's not doing a great job, but I think the rest of the world thinks she is. But, look at her, she's in beautiful scenery. I mean, absolutely beautiful scenery. She's sitting on a throne, she's very well dressed. There's a hare down by her, or is it meant to be a rabbit? It looks like a hare. But I wonder if it's meant to be a rabbit and signify fertility, looking after children. Yeah, I mean, it's rather a beautiful card, except you're knackered. It's rather a beautiful card. And, it's really saying, just get on with it and count your blessings, because this won't go on forever. Of course, the Hanged Man, you're not going to have dependence forever. In fact, you may become dependent on them in the future. And you've been laying down for the future, this investing for the future. Of course, investing in other people, and hopefully they will take the burden at a later date. Is that it? How does any of this fit with this new information? I don't know. We're going to need some clarity, aren't we, Roosters? We really are. And the clarity I seek is on this Queen of Pentacles. And the first card I get is the Death card. abrupt ending. Does it actually mean death? The next card I get is the Eight of Cups. No, it doesn't mean death because you're walking away from a situation, disillusioned. Yeah, no, that's the ending. You're causing the ending. And then the final card is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Action. Queen of Action. Yeah. Let's look at these individually, but I think I'm understanding it. Now, the first card of clarity is this Death card. And it means an abrupt ending, probably an unexpected ending. And I always say that, other tarot readers say it doesn't mean death. And I always say it might mean death. And of course this could, because it sees you having dependence. So could it be that another loved one dies? But they don't. Because the next card tells me that you've walked away from the situation. So it's an abrupt ending to something. It's an abrupt ending to something. And it's an abrupt ending to something that leaves you with dependence. So it is like a relationship, isn't it? It is like a relationship that you walk away from. And you look at the card, it always, I don't know how many of you would know it, but Undercliff Cemetery in Bradford always reminds me of Undercliff Cemetery in Bradford. There is death on that chestnut horse with a scythe in her hand. And that man's loved one has been taken from him. He's placing roses on the grave. And yeah, it's on a hillside, like in Bradford. The sun's trying to come through. Will it? Who knows? Who knows? But there does feel to be hope behind those clouds, doesn't there? Yes, there does. Now, although the ending is abrupt, I think you're in greater control of this. And that's because it's you who walks away from it. You get disillusioned. Because we have the Eight of Cups here. And that's you seeing through a situation and saying, no, I'm moving on. And I wonder if that's the information that you've received, the Ace of Swords. I'm wondering if this hanged man you're hanging around, has you been waiting to assess the situation and decide what you should do, and it's now come to a head. Because I'm sure it's a relationship that involves dependence. It might not be a marriage, it might not be children, but it certainly feels that way. And you see, look, those are the cups there, those are what you know. But you're turning your back on them. You're walking away. You're walking into the unknown because there's a moon there which signifies the unknown. But you're prepared to give that up because there's something you don't want to be a part of. You want to walk away from something. You've discovered something and you feel you're better off. Better off. Now, of course, what you're not doing, because we had the Nine of Pentacles. You're not leaving your dependence in the lurch. You're not walking away like that. You're just walking away from your partner if we're talking of a marriage type of situation. How interesting. And Rooster, I'm pretty certain I know what the information is and why you're walking away from this relationship. And it is because you've realised that your partner's a narcissist. Because here we have the Queen of Wands. Now, it could be about you, but I don't think it is. The Queen of Wands, she's an admirable queen. She is. And if it's you, there's nothing wrong with being a Queen of Wands. There really isn't. But the Queen of Wands is somebody that flits from person to person and maybe uses them. So that is a narcissist, isn't it? She's quite powerful. She's very action orientated queen, but she can be a user of people. And I think you've realised that about the person that's your partner. That's what I believe you've understood and realised. and that's why you've decided to move on. And you're doing the right thing because of whatever dependents you had, you're looking after them. So fair play to you, Rooster, fair play to you. Let's summarise. Rooster, the year of the tiger is one of you hanging around, waiting to act, scanning the environment, saying, when is the right time to do what I need to do? And the reason for that is you have some information. You have some information that maybe you don't even fully believe, but you certainly don't quite know what to do with it. And I believe that information is on somebody very close to you. It's probably even a romantic partner that you've probably got children with. Whatever it is, the ties that you have with this person mean that you have responsibilities. So, I mean, it could simply be a business partner, but maybe it feels like a romantic partner to me. And the information I think you found out is that they're not quite who you thought they were. Maybe they're narcissists. They certainly are somebody that uses people. And, you know, you've been investing in the future. So if it's a business, you've been building this business with this partner, only to find that maybe they're using you as well. So what you thought was creating wealth for both of you, actually they saw it just for themselves. And now, what you're going to do, you're going to do something very brave. You're going to do something that takes a lot of courage, because you're going to break this off. You're going to walk away. Now, you could walk away and dump your dependents. Now, whether they are children or whether they are simply walking away from the business and saying, don't want any more to do with it. So you could do that, but I don't see you doing it. No. You're going to do the right thing. But things are going to come to a head. Things are going to come to a head. And probably it's the actions of this partner is going to bring it to the head. It's going to bring you to realise that the information you have is true. And that sees you getting disillusioned and walking away. But I believe just from them, not from your responsibilities. And you're going to live up to those responsibilities. It's going to be hard work. And, you know, you're going to feel a little bit betrayed. But, Rooster, you're doing the right thing, I believe. I really do. I think you're doing the right thing. And, you know, you've been waiting around thinking, what should I do? What should I do? And now you're going to do it. And it takes some bravery. It takes some courage. But I feel you're doing the right thing. I really do, Rooster. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed Tarot from Java as an addition to my channel, The Magic of Java. Please take a look at the other videos that I have on this channel about magic from Java, and I hope that you will become a subscriber. Now, if you want to hear your next tarot reading, hit the button, and that will inform you of when I publish new readings. I'm certainly going to do a reading for every month, but maybe I will try them a bit more frequently, say a mid-month reading, and maybe also some special readings. But above all, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you, and enjoy Java.